very special top episode of Jivin with Jack. For some reason, I was just about to say Ty's Corner because for the longest time, it's been kind of busy. I thought I'd be doing the show by myself. No Ty, no Austin, no Caden. But I got the next best thing, which is no Ty. That's just a joke. Ty might be joining us a little bit later for a special segment. But look, I want to touch on the DCEU today. So we got some news about a comic book, Batman 89. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to touch on the Tim Drake issue. Some people are saying, are they making Tim Drake gay just to pander? Or, sorry, bisexual? Or is it like, no, you know what? He's bisexual. Get over it. We'll get into that. But I want to talk about the DCU in large. We've been talking a lot about the whole argument of this sort of civil war happening, not just within the DCEU, but within the Snyder Cut fan base, the Ayer Cuts people. And I want to talk about, are we possibly setting our expectations too high? We got the Snyder Cut. It was a big win. I want the Snyderverse restored, but will I not, watch it moving forward? I don't know. And we'll see. I'd like to hear your opinion because there's no such thing as a right opinion. There are right facts, and then there's opinions. Plus, WB has made a deal with AMC, but ticket sales are dropping, unfortunately, because of the Delta variant. What does that mean for the cinema industry? And connected to the Suicide Squad, an accusation has been made about Joel Kinneman. Now, there are circumstances around it, which kind of imply that Joel is innocent, but we're going to get into that. Disney completely cut off from Scarjo. A lot of people are saying, look, she's still doing a movie with Disney. Done. She is done. This is the first time we've seen a meltdown like this between stars and Disney. Where does it go from here? Plus, we're going to talk a little bit about J.J. Abrams' show, UFO. Ty will be joining me for that. If he's not, we'll do it next week on Tuesday. Plus, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. Oh, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday the 13th. You know what that means? It means that today is the 12th. So, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, break out a drink. Happy Thirsty Thursday, and welcome to Jivin' with Jack. Oh, my God. So, guys, look, I'm really excited to do today's show. We have a lot to talk about. We are heavy into DCEU today. Ladies and gentlemen, before I continue, I want you to make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Now, I know I say that every episode, and every damn YouTuber is always telling you, like, share, and subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. It's annoying. However, it is very important to help us grow. Look, the last few weeks have been phenomenal. Ty, Austin, and Caden have been doing like 600 shows a day. You guys have been supporting it. Our interviews from Wayne T. Card to Tucky Williams, and everything else in between. And, of course, my show, which I really appreciate the support. But how do we grow? You guys like, you share, you comment, you write toxic comments, you argue with me, you use super chats. That's what we need. That's what we want. That's what we have. So let's get into it. At this moment, I'd like to bring in my co-host, my number two, the man who will be hosting the show when I'm not here. If that ever happens, it'll never happen because I will always be here. Always. Ladies and gentlemen, the man with the $1 million voice, Mr. Austin Lean 316.
That's right. Here I am, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I know.
There we go.
I know. Back by popular demand.
Yes.
I'll be here all week.
Oh, man.
What's up, Jack? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm pretty good.
Happy Thursday, dude.
Happy Thursday. We're going to talk about this Batman comic, the Batman 89 thing.
Oh, got it?
I got it, and I got to tell you a really funny story. So I heard about the comic. I'm like, we got to talk about it tomorrow because it's tied to the Flash and all that stuff. It's a 6-issue run. But before I get all that, my sister was in the area where the comic book store is. So where I am in Philly, there are no local comic book stores. They're either downtown or the other side of the city. So she's in the suburbs. And this comic book store closes at 8. I'm like, listen, are you in the area? She was having dinner. She's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, just go there and pick up this comic. She's like, but I don't know if I can be there by 8. At best, 8:10. So I call the comic book store. And the guy's like, listen, I can only wait till 8:05 for your sister. After that, we're closing. So I call my sister. She's like, then should I not go? I'm like, go. Just go. They'll let you in. She's like, why? I'm like, because I know these nerds. There are no women that go there. No women go to comic book stores anywhere. I'll clarify what I mean by women. When you go, they will let you in. She got there at 8:10. And as soon as they saw her, there were 3 guys working. Stopped what they're doing, turned the register back on.
Yep.
And then gave her a free slipcover.
Yep.
To charge you for the slipcover? She's like, no. She thought it was. She's like, how'd you know? I'm like, just because I know these guys. They see like a pretty girl there. I'm like, you know, they're. No, she's like, they were so helpful. They were so nice. They were talking to me. I'm like, yep. And he was like yelling at me, 8:05. After that, sorry, dude, I can't keep it open. I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, it's at 10 now. And she was there till like 8:15. So, but yeah, no, I got the comic.
Here's the funny part: is this is yet again another story of your family.
Oh, like the PlayStation 5?
Getting something for you. Like going out late or something. Because, look, I know my family loves me, all right? I know my mother loves me. I know my family loves me.
Yeah.
If I called them and asked them to do that, they would tell me where to go and how long to stay there. Like it is, yeah. I just think it's just great, man. I love your family. They'll just go. They'll get you consoles. They'll get you comics. They'll stand in line for you.
We're in the last few months, gas prices have jumped, so we're actually kind of conscious. Like, if someone's in a certain area, and I do it for my sister too. Like, I get like, you know, but like we're conscious. Like, I could go myself either today, tomorrow, and get it. But since she's in the area, it's about a 20-25 minute drive. It's cheaper on gas that way. Like, all right, you know, we think that way, and she does it for me. Like, if I'm in the area, she's like, "Oh, can you grab me something?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can grab something. Yeah, no problem." You know.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it is a funny story. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the DCEU today because I you know, not necessarily about the suit. We're not going to have the same conversation we'd have last weekend.
Right. Lots of DCEU talk, man.
A lot of DCEU talk. But you know what? Let's get into it because this is interesting. So as everyone knows, we're also going to talk about the Michael Keaton interview that he did. That's kind of tied to this. Michael Keaton is coming in Flashpoint. Or sorry, I keep saying Flashpoint. The Flash movie in an alternate universe. He's returning to the Cal. Is it a nostalgia move or is there actually story to it? Or, you know what I mean? Like, are you kind of worried like they're just bringing him here just for nostalgia factor? However, Michael said he talked briefly. He didn't give away too much. He said, look, I read the script and just the way they introduced me, the way they like filming it, the way the lines and everything, it's actually pretty interesting. And like, he seems excited to do this. And it's not like just another paycheck to him. He's actually happy to be back. So that gives you more hope than I already had about the Flash movie. You know,
yes, yeah, absolutely.
You know, what got me about the comic, about the Flash, the Batman '89 comic, it's okay. It's nothing to write home about. It's definitely written for the fans. Bruce Wayne looks like Michael Keaton. Harvey Dent looks like Billy D. Williams, who played him in the Michael Keaton. And it's set right after the events of the first film. And what's interesting about it is that Barbara Gordon has already grown up and she's dating Harvey Dent. And Harvey Dent is on a campaign to, you know, get rid of the Batman. He thinks the Batman's actually causing problems. He asked Bruce Wayne for endorsement to help him. He wants to get rid of Gordon as commissioner. So it's only one issue. Joker has followers who dress up like the Jack Nicholson Joker, causing chaos. But to get the likeness of the actors, they have to get a little bit of money for it, you know?
Right.
Which means they're investing a lot of money. But we know Michael Keaton is going to be in this movie. We've been speculating, will he stay in the DCEU? And I feel like they're shaping this up to get us ready for the fact that he will be in the DCEU. Now, I'm not saying they're getting rid of Affleck. That's not what I want. That's not what I'm saying. But that he will be in some capacity as an older Bruce Wayne, as a mentor. Hello, Resident Justice Integrity. Hi to you.
Yes, quick shout out to our chat. We love you guys so much. Resident Justice Integrity. My man Integrity was the first one in the chat today, man. I love it. He's like, and Zach is back. I love it.
Integrity, we're going to get into it because you know us. I know Austin and Ty hate the Snyderverse now, but I still love it.
Whoa. Hey.
I'm pandering.
I totally agree, Integrity. Michael Keaton is a world-class actor. Quick side note before we get deep into the DC stuff, because Integrity brought it up. Mr. Keaton has 3 new projects besides The Flash coming out in the span of a recent time frame. He has a Netflix film called Worth about the 9/11 attacks and the money that was given back to the victims and how they did that. He has a TV show on Hulu coming.
But that one about OxyContin?
About the dope crisis, OxyContin, where he plays a doctor. And he has a film coming out this weekend or next weekend called The Protege with him and Maggie Q.
Ooh,
and Samuel L. Jackson.
How is Maggie Q not a bigger actress? I mean, she's talented and everything, but she's incredibly unique looking.
She should be a huge actress.
French or something.
I'm shocked the MCU hasn't picked her up yet, or something. You know, one of those major franchises. Really. Honestly, I was just thinking Star Wars should pick her up.
Oh yeah, she'd
be great in Star Wars, man.
She's excellent in everything she does. But it's funny you mentioned Protege because a lot of the Flash stuff that Michael Keaton's talking about is during press junkets for Protege. You know,
he's doing the Protege. Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting. You know, he looks really good. He's my dad's age. He's 71, or he's 70. Sorry, but he looks great. He doesn't.
There's a clip from the trailer of the Protege where he like full on like beats the crap out of somebody, like breaks their arm. It does the whole. So like he's in good shape. Which I saw that and I was like, yo, that got me a little hype for the Batman for sure.
Yeah.
For his return.
That kind of cleared it up for me. You know, we were wondering, will he be wearing the cowl in this? Now we've seen the art that they've released, that shows. Sure. And I was like, is that like a misdirection? Do they want us to think he'll be suiting up, or he'll just be Bruce Wayne, like he's a retired Bruce Wayne? But he was asked point blank, what was it like putting back the cowl on? And rather than either saying I don't, or even saying I don't want to answer that, he talks about putting the cowl on for the first time in 30 years. And he said, when I put it on, it was weirdly normal. Caden, I don't know if you can scroll down and find that picture. I literally it's closed caption. He says it was weirdly normal. And he says, as soon as I put it on, like it came back to him after 30 years. And that's what's crazy about acting, he looks funny, but the words are there. But like he said, it was
no, but he looks good. He looks good. He looks good.
And that's kind of interesting how it is for an actor. Integrity mentioned that he turned down $15 million for Batman Forever. That might have killed his career. Let's say they did the movie the exact same way with Michael Keaton. He might have become a joke, now he's being ridiculous. It might have killed his career.
Well, it maybe hurt his career more that he didn't do it too, because after that he took a pretty, and Integrity brings it up, there was a time frame where he was not doing
he wasn't the leading man anymore.
No. And he made a massive look. I argue, for me, Birdman is like one of my all-time favorite films. It is a masterpiece, and it's a master class in acting from Keaton, Edward Norton, just some
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, Naomi Watts. Some really, really amazing performances in that movie.
But you're right.
He came back with that. I loved how that was such a movie to come back with, because it felt so personal.
Yeah.
Because it literally felt like they were talking about Birdman 3. There's a whole scene where they're like, well, you turned down Birdman 3 and blah, blah, blah. So it felt very personal, very real. And
in the late
guys,
90s,
so highly recommend. That's my recommendation for the week. Birdman.
Great movie.
Check out Birdman, starring Michael Keaton.
Like in the late 90s, he went from being like a leading man to like a second. Like he's in Jackie Brown. He's good in Jackie Brown, but he's not like one of the main characters. And I'm trying to think, have you ever seen Lost?
Did he show up in Lost?
No. The role of Jack, which was played by Matthew Fox, was created by J.J. Abrams for Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was supposed to play that role. The plan was that Jack from Lost, who was the main character of the show, was going to be killed off at some point in season 1. It was going to be like a huge shocker. Like you're like, oh, Michael Keaton's the main character, and he's going to get killed off. Right. It was going to be a huge, shocking moment. But as J.J. Abrams and his team were writing the first season of Lost, and said, no, we're not going to kill off Jack, because Jack is the same. Matthew Fox is the main character. They went back to Keaton and said, look, we're not going to kill off the character. We're going to keep him around for the rest of the show. And Michael Keaton said, all right, now his kids were a little bit younger. He's like, I'm spending time with my family. I appreciate the offer, but he turned down the role.
He was doing Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, but he's talking more about his kids. Like his kids were at an age where he wanted to spend time with them, so he just didn't do it. So that's kind of funny. Like, and you go through all these lists of like a lot of roles that he turned down. Even for Batman and Robin, there were attempts to get him back for that fourth film because I think things didn't work out with Val Kilmer. And he just said no. And
he got offered. Val Kilmer got offered, and he said no.
Yeah, no. And then I think he was like he was in. Remember that movie? What's that movie with Will Ferrell and Marky Mark? What's it? Where
the other guys, dude. He had the chief.
Phenomenal. And he keeps making references to TLC. It's like, don't go chasing waterfalls, you know.
Yeah, dude. It's He had some really great minor stuff, but like I said, then he made that big comeback with Birdman, and I'm really trying to. He did some other things. He had a minor role in
American Assassin.
I did see American Assassin. I enjoyed that with him and Dylan O'Brien. Recently he's done a lot. The Founder's phenomenal. Spotlight, The Trial of Chicago 7. Recently he's done a lot, and he's literally I watch that dude's career closely because every single movie or thing that he does, I watch. He's one of my all-time favorite actors. He has a side job at Bath and Beyond.
Oh my God. And The Others. Yeah, that's right. He has a side job.
That's right. I gotta watch The Others, man. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, but
speaking real quick of Adam McKay and The Others, who directed that.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear about Don't Look Up? Have you heard about Don't Look Up?
What is that?
So that's the next. It's Netflix big movie for this year. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Timothée Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Matthew Perry, Kid Cudi, Jonah Hill. Huh?
Is that the one Brendan Fraser joined?
No, No, that's the Martin Scorsese one.
That's right. Yeah,
this is Don't Look Up. It's directed by the guy who did Step Brothers, Anchorman, Talladega Nights, The Big Short, and Vice. Adam McKay. God. So that's a freaking resume, right? If that's not a diverse filmography, dude, I really don't know. This dude he went from the Step Brothers to doing the Academy Award winning The Big Short. And so now he's got Don't Look Up coming to Netflix with, like I said, Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Timothée Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Kid Cudi, Jonah Hill, Matthew Perry.
That's going to be big.
It's literally one of the most stacked casts like I've ever. And the little clip I've seen for it, right, was Leonardo DiCaprio having a panic attack in the bathroom because the storyline is 2 astronauts are trying to spread the word that a devastating meteor is coming that will destroy the planet.
Yeah.
And like nobody takes them seriously. And so,
when was the last time Leo did a comedy? I'm trying to think. At least that type
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, okay.
If you can kind of categorize it, he has never done a full-on comedy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Adam McKay comedy. Like I don't think he's ever done one. Or
so he's literally having a panic attack and he's breathing real heavy. And Jonah Hill cuts over, and Jonah Hill, they're in the White House. Jonah Hill's there, and he just starts laughing at him. He goes, "Are you laughing at me?" He goes, "Yeah, man, you're just so tense." You're like, "Oh, dude, you're just like, oh my gosh, man, the reunite, like, I can't wait to see those two on screen again."
And it's gonna be on
Netflix. That's gonna be a Netflix, and it's gonna be, it's definitely gonna be social commentary. They're definitely talking like about how people aren't taking the pandemic seriously and things like that, and yes, it is. But I love Adam McKay. I don't know if you saw Vice, Jack,
I did not. That's been on my list to watch.
I think that's on Hulu.
I'm really obsessed with that era of American history. Now it's history, but like that, I hated the neoconservative movement so much. It was like the worst thing that ever happened to the world.
It's so good.
And
you got to watch that. That's on Hulu. Have you seen The Big Short?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Adam McKay?
That was Adam McKay.
Oh.
He wrote and directed that. Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
So it's definitely gonna be social commentary, but the dude is gonna add his own. One of the things I loved about Big Short was like middle of the movie, Anthony Bourdain shows up to start explaining to you how it all happened, like in layman's terms. I was just like, and then they had Margot Robbie in a bathtub, and and I thought this is so genius, man, to just like because it was a lot of like financial talk and stuff, and I was like,
you get lost in that. You know?
I look forward to his creative, whatever that guy does creatively. I think he's up
And
there.
you know what? I like good political movies. Like some movies, they hit you over the head with a point of view. But I like a good political movie, and I think that's a genre. Like one of my favorite movies in the last few years was called All the Way, and it had
Bryan Cranston,
Johnson, and Sam Wilson played Martin Luther King.
Yes.
And of course, they play around with history because they kind of ignore the fact that Johnson had a pretty, there's a lot of accounts of him kind of saying racist stuff, but like they were trying to paint him like, look, he got civil rights done, he got voting rights done. And it's actually a pretty good movie, pretty accurate. Because that's another, like the whole pre-Vietnam era is really fascinating of American history, Cold War and all that. But that was a really good movie, and I always encourage people like you should watch movies like that. HBO did one called Recount. Did you ever see that with Kevin Spacey? It was about the Florida recount. Again, really good. HBO did one called Game Plan or Game Change.
I've seen Game Plan or Game Change about
Sarah Palin.
Kane.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore was Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Very
Everyone would say it should have been Tina
Fey,
but Tina Fey's doing like a mocking impression. Julianne Moore just was scary. Like she looked and sounded like Palin. And
and then Ed Harris and Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson. Yeah. He played his chief of staff. But like movies like that are good.
I agree. I love a good political, political film. I love. You should check out Vice. You should really check out Vice. I think that will probably make it to the top of your list.
He plays Rumsfeld, and I was like Rumsfeld. I'm like, all right,
bro. Oh,
is he good?
Have you ever seen? He does. Have you ever seen? Yes, he's phenomenal, and he does drama very, very well.
Yeah, I saw the one where he played the
Foxcatcher. Did you see Foxcatcher?
Yeah, Foxcatcher. That's the one. Yeah. I mean, Steve Carell's he's had an interesting career post The Office. Because I figured he's going to be doing dumb comedy movies, and like, nope, he wants to do drama. But like, see, here's the funny thing: like Steve Carell, like Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton comes from a comedy background. He was a stand-up comic, not a huge stand-up comic, but that was his background. He was known
when he was a kid. He was on a show that he was very funny.
He was sort of known for that. And so when Beetlejuice came out in 1988, so Tim Burton basically had two hits with Warner Brothers. He did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which is a good movie.
Oh, I didn't know he did Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, that was sort of like his big. I wouldn't call it big box office, but it was a movie that made a lot of money. It was
his big debut.
His big debut, and then here comes Beetlejuice in 1988. So picture this. Tim Burton is like 27, 28 years old, and they give him Batman. Now, Warner Brothers have been trying to make a Batman movie since the Superman movie, which came out a decade earlier. So Superman, the movie came out in 78 with Christopher Reeve. They were trying for a Batman movie, and they were trying to get A-listers. They were trying to get Tom Selleck. There was talk of a young Pierce Brosnan. Let's get some of these actors. And Tim Burton says, I'm going to go with Michael Keaton. Yeah, Keaton was Night Shift. And there's another really good movie called Gung Ho. I don't think it would come out today because it's very politically correct, but it talks about sort of the differences in cultures way better than any stupid TV show or movie does now, where they try to teach you a lesson. #Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But watch a movie called Gung Ho. It's about a Japanese company that buys up an American automotive company and saves the jobs, but the Japanese work ethic completely different than the American work ethic. And just a clash. And Keaton's hilarious in it. Gede Watanabe's in it. He's hilarious. But anyway, Keaton was known for comedy, Mr. Mom, stuff like that.
Yeah, the funny thing is also they had Harrison Ford, like also as a contender.
Batman. Yeah, I even heard Bill Murray at some point.
Bill Murray. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Bill Murray. No. So this is the list: Bill Murray, Tom Selleck, Charlie Sheen, Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner, Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid.
Wow.
So those are some like A-list dramedy.
And so all of a sudden they cast Michael Keaton, and everyone freaks out because everyone was hoping, okay, Tim Burton, he'll make a good Batman movie because he made a good Beetlejuice movie. He made Pee-wee's.
Oh, they even approached Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Yep. He was doing that show.
Who at the time had no interest playing the comic book character.
Yeah, exactly.
Who now is Dr. Fate.
Yeah, I know, right? That's the irony of it all. But Keaton gets cast. Hundreds of thousands of letters are written to Warner Brothers begging them to change it. They said, dude, it's going to be a comedy. It's going to be the Adam West movie. It's going to be like Batman being funny, Batman being silly. So in a rush, I kid you not, they made the worst possible movie trailer ever made. In fact, even if we showed it, Warner Brothers would be like, "That's cool, man." That's how bad it is. It is such a bad trailer. It's just literally footage, and at the end they add a little bit of music. However, the trailer, for lack of a better word, in 1988, 89 cents went viral. People were going to the movie theater just to watch the trailer.
Right.
It was that cool because they showed Keaton. First of all, it didn't seem like it was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was one of those actors that when he wore the cowl, it didn't look like Michael Keaton. Christian Bale, sometimes you'd be like, yeah, that looks like Christian Bale. Like you can tell it's Christian Bale. George Clooney looks and sounds like George Clooney all the time. Like, hey, I'm Batman. Hey, Mr.
Wow. Just reading the people that that they auditioned for Joker, like Tim Curry, David Bowie, John Lightlow, Ray Liotta, James Wood, John Glover, Robin Williams, and then went with Jack Nicholson. That's just amazing.
Oh, do you guys know the whole Jack Nicholson, Robin Williams story?
Yeah.
They wanted Jack Nicholson, but as the Jack wasn't too interested at first.
Mm-hmm.
So as a way to trap Jack, they went to Robin, like, we're giving it to Robin Williams to kind of like, Jack say no to money. And Robin Williams didn't know this, so he's like, yeah, I'll take it. And then boom, they went back to Jack. So after that, Robin Williams just refused to work at Warner Brothers. Like,
and that's like his whole start at Disney and with Flubber and Aladdin.
Wow.
He was pissed. And then something similar, I think, also happened with the Riddler, but I'm not too sure about that story because then they were like,
he was supposed to.
Wanted Jim Carrey.
Shoemaker. I think he wanted. Let me look at it real quick.
Schumacher.
Dennis Quaid, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. I love it. Today's segment with Caden, butchering names.
Yes. Tuesday show reading our new subscriber list. What the hell?
Did you know that they wanted Ethan Hawke to play the recast
Batman?
Huh? Did you know that they wanted Ethan Hawke to play the recasted Keaton for Batman Forever?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they auditioned Ethan Hawke, Keanu Reeves, Alec and William Baldwin, Dean Cain, Tom Hanks, Kurt Russell, Ralph Fiennes, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Johnny Depp.
So I don't think Ray Fiennes. So it looks like it says Ralph Fiennes. It's actually Ray Fiennes.
It's Ray Fiennes, Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, I thought that was a nickname, but apparently they pronounce it it's Ralph, but it's pronounced Ray. I'm like,
Ray
Fiennes,
it
is.
Yeah, it's so weird. Same thing with the Sasha Kaje thing. I kept saying Kaye or Kale.
Yeah.
But so anyway, they cast Michael Keaton. Now, and again, true story. When I was a little kid, like 3 years old, when you watch a movie like Batman, you're not paying attention to the dialogue. You're just watching it. And I remember crying to my mom, like 4 years old, like, Mom, he never takes his mask off. I want to know what he looks like. Then at 4.5, when Batman Returns comes down, he takes it off. I'm like, oh, that's why they keep showing that dude, Michael Keaton. You're a kid. You don't connect the dots of the dude is sitting in the cave. That's because he's Batman, But this is what you talk about in auteur. You know why Tim Burton liked him? He says, I like Michael's eyes. Like, you don't hear about casting like that now. It's like, oh, he's got to be 6'2". He's got to have the physicality for it, which yes, you need that for Superman and Batman and Thor. But he's like, I like his eyes. He's got these scary eyes, and he's got this grimace. And it's not, in hindsight, it may have not aged well because of movies like The Dark Knight. But the way it's lit, it's that old school cinematography. We're not going to show you too much. We're going to keep him in the shadows. We're going to keep it lit a certain way so he doesn't look like a dude in a costume. And so he did Batman Returns, which unfortunately flopped hard. Do you guys know the story about that one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Batman Returns. They gave Tim Burton full control. So he tried to make it almost feels like a Batman art house film. Michael Keaton's almost sometimes forgettable, but it's much more violent, much more grim. The action sequences aren't as big. And
it's what inspired the whole New Penguin backstory.
Yeah.
The comics.
It did. And what's crazy about it is that parents see the first Batman has a little bit of violence in it, but still it's a fun movie. Batman Returns, I would say, in a positive way, is not a fun movie. It's not like fun movie, but like it's violent.
I'm going to talk about this
Yeah, we're
in
gonna
a
talk
little
about
bit.
that too, because when I saw him,
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I didn't see the documentary. But I saw the trailer, but at the end of the trailer, they show him.
I watched I watched the documentary.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just really. What happened was
Yeah.
McDonald's
Later.
selling toys for Batman Returns, and parents were getting mad at McDonald's. Like, this movie is too violent. You literally see the penguin bite a dude's nose, and you see blood gushing out, his blood pouring out his mouth and stuff. Now, as adults, we don't care. And today, people don't really care about that. But at the time, there was such an outrage about that movie from parents that McDonald's said, like, if you want to keep doing this deal with us, you're gonna have to change things up. Because of that, they get Joel Schumacher. They're like, all right, let's change things up. And they were still going to use Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton read the script, saw what they were doing, and said no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he liked Burton's take on everything so much that he was so connected to it.
Yeah.
And he said that he would not sign on to a movie to play Batman if Burton ideas weren't involved.
Yeah. And
like,
you
that's like a big
the influence of those Burton films. If you like Batman the Animated Series, those first couple of seasons were a direct, loose sequel to the show.
Yeah.
The opening music was the Danny Elfman score. In one of the early episodes, when he's going through the Joker's file, it says real name Jack Napier, which is a reference to Jack Nicholson's Joker. The idea was that it was kind of a loose sequel to the movies.
The same thing with that Spider-Man animated series that came out after the first Spider-Man movie with Sam Raimi. That was like a loose sequel.
Was that the one on MTV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. It was supposed to be like a loose sequel to that, and then I think one called The Batman around the time.
In 2003, 2000. Yeah.
I think it was right around the time Batman Begins either had come out or was coming out, but there was like no connectivity. The idea, but they did push with like the young Bruce Wayne, like he's clearly in his 20s.
2004.
Yeah, right. 2004. And the Joker, they were like, all right, obviously the Heath Ledger movie was years away. They were like, all right, we got to do something different. How would Nolan do the Joker? Like, it almost feels like that, even though that's not what they did, but it was something different.
Yeah.
Right.
But you still had the Kevin Conroy Batman doing the Justice League series on it.
That's my Batman. Kevin Conroy.
Let's hit on this real quick on the Val thing, because I saw the trailer for it. Is it on? What is it on?
Yeah, so it's on Amazon. I watched it this weekend. It's called Val. Yeah. And it's about. It has got to be one of the most Integrity said. Yeah, he's right. It's got to be one of the most depressing. But also one of the most fascinating. I'm not a big documentary person. What up? I'm not a big documentary person, but like this one, had me really interested. He had a very fascinating life, and even more fascinating is like from the time he was a kid, like 4 years old, him and his brothers had camcorders, video cameras, and they filmed everything. I mean, so you see footage from his very first Broadway show with Sean Penn and Kevin Bacon. Yeah. When they were like kids, literally 20 years old. You see the footage of him like first walking onto the Top Gun set, and it's surreal. He had a camcorder and he filmed his entire life basically.
Yeah, I mean. So someone just said something that was kind of in the back of my mind, is that they started it and then they saw, I think, who said that?
Integrity. Yeah. That's why I pointed out.
They knew it was going to be depressing and they turned it off. I'm not going to lie. I've done that sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to feel like that.
The dude had a life. He had a life. His brother died when he was young. His parents went through a divorce. It's just a lot of things happened to him. But what was most interesting to me is I never understood until this this documentary, how passionate and how dedicated he was to the craft. Like this dude, he was the youngest actor ever to be accepted into Juilliard. Which is that's huge. Juilliard is, the biggest acting school that you can get into. And so he went to Juilliard. He was just obsessed with the craft and very into it. And the documentary talks a little bit how I think that led to him, getting a kind of like a reputation of maybe being difficult to work with, or things like that. But it was always because he wanted to elevate the character or the film. He talks about Batman, right, and how excited he was. He goes, every kid wants to be Batman, right?
Yeah.
And he says that's what he thought when he got the script, and he was so excited to explore all these things and do all this. And when it got in there, he said it felt like he didn't even, exist. Because
and by the way, when that movie came out, it was popular. People didn't hate on it.
It was
after Batman and Robin, but at the time it was a huge movie. Everyone loved it. I remember just not liking it because the music was different, and I like Michael
But he
Keaton.
talks about how he wasn't able to play really the character that he wanted to play or do what he, and so.
Yeah.
He basically said he felt overshadowed by everything else. In the movie.
And not only that, he did an interview like around 2008, and he's like, I saw Batman Begins and I saw The Dark Knight. That's the type of movie I wish we had made. Like that's the type of movie I wanted to have made in hindsight, like something serious. And apparently there is a darker cut of the Schumacher film that has
with Man-Bat and
Right. Yeah, there are. But he talks about that.
At least the Schumacher cut, or I will not support Warner Brothers anymore.
It's so interesting because he starts, you guys, right? Every kid wants to be Batman. He says, but not every kid wants to play Batman. Like that's a different thing, right?
Because you have to think about it. Being Batman is a physical, mental, and emotional toll. Like you have to take.
Well, it's just a whole different thing, and it was so interesting because they called him right after for Batman Returns. They wanted him to do that, and he turned it down. But it was very interesting. He talks about that from the Batman Forever set. He went immediately, and he said it was great. He went from he felt it was a very low experience for him.
Yeah.
To like doing, he said, one of the most exciting. He went from the Batman Forever set to the Heat set right after, and started Heat with Michael Mann, Robert De Niro,
De Niro, Pacino on screen for the very first time.
He talks about making that movie, man, and just the rush of working.
Yeah,
with
he's got the long flowing hair in that movie.
Oh man, he said that was so fulfilling to do after Batman Forever. It filled that hole that Batman Forever left him with.
People tend to forget he was in that movie with a very up and coming actress, and that was Nicole Kidman. She wasn't. She was popular, but she wasn't as popular as she would later be. I mean, now she's like, like a A-lister plus, in terms of
yeah.
And
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. She was. I mean, when she came on the scene, I mean, not to get pervy here, but incredible sex symbol. The world was obsessed with her when she hit. I mean, she had Called to Die For, I think, a year earlier. And a lot of people just assumed she was American. Not many people knew she was Australian. I mean, the impact she had when she hit the big screen, not just in Batman Forever, but like she was like the one big success out of that movie because Tommy Lee Jones already was a success. Jim Carrey was already doing his thing. This movie, unfortunately, did not help Val too much in terms of his own popularity, but it was just another notch in her belt on the way to an even greater career that she's been rocking now for 20 plus years. But she was she was great in that movie. Phenomenal in that movie. I mean, just to watch her in it. I mean, she sort of plays like she's a good guy, but she almost has these aspects of a femme fatale, kind of a seductress.
Right.
Like that can be done really badly. Like any actress you throw in there, just be sexy. No, she just had another factor about her, which to me just points to how dynamic of an actress she is when you're comparing her to Eyes Wide Shut or Virginia Woolf or whatever, The Hours. Just a great actress, and
Moulin Rouge. I mean, she's
Moulin Rouge, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, don't forget her masterpiece. She was in Aquaman. That's probably her best performance.
Oh, wait, let me do something real quick.
HBO Max. Oh, here we go, guys. We got some breaking news. Breaking news.
Do you want to go first?
Breaking news. Here we go. We got all the breaking news. Here we go.
All right.
So we have the HBO Max is getting a new animated Catwoman movie.
Catwoman
November
movie.
1st, 2021, Catwoman Hunted. Whoa.
Oh, it's an animated movie on HBO Max.
On HBO Max.
Ah.
So I'm not sure if it'll have any connection to anything or if it's going to be like part of the DC animated universe and now they're just putting it on HBO Max. But yeah, we can say that it is coming November 21st to HBO Max, Catwoman Hunted.
Ah, interesting. So yeah, I mean, if it's HBO Max and not, let's say, a direct DC animated thing, you would think it's got to be connected, maybe. Any information on Kate? If you look up who's voicing it, or they just announced it?
I'm looking it up right now, but I was pressing breaking news thing for another reason. It's Free Britney update. Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, steps down from conservatorship.
Woo! What?
Yeah.
Whoa! What?
That is crazy.
Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, has agreed to step down from his daughter's conservatorship. On Thursday, Spears' father filed his response to the singer's petition for suspension with the Los Angeles Superior Court, announcing his decision to step down. Though his attorney states that there is no actual grounds for suspending or removing him, his attorney cites the public battle with his daughter as his reasoning for stepping down. There are, in fact, no actual grounds for suspending or removing Mr. Spears as the conservator of the estate under probate section 2650.
Whatever.
And it has, but yeah.
What a load of bullshit! All right, that's the one. I'm sorry, I know.
Wait. I'm confused.
Bullshit from an old man who's.
But he has stepped down, right?
Yes, he has stepped down.
But he literally was like, "It's not because the law could or make me." Yeah, dude, they were about. You know why he stepped down? Because the law wasn't just gonna make him. I'm sure they were gonna make him pay.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this last week. There's a possibility that the court might keep the conservatorship and all that stuff. And I'm saying right here, there will be consequences, unfortunately, for her father. I'm not saying wishing violence or anything, but this dude is not going to be able to eat in a restaurant ever again because people will hound him. I think he realized that, maybe it's possible that by doing this, he's hoping that, hey, maybe I can still make peace with my daughter and still get that money, that dollar bills. That's what he's thinking about.
Britney's made it clear that dude is not going to be involved in. No. That would be the tip. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'll tell you what I feel like. I feel like, look, the law was coming after her.
Yeah.
Like she got new lawyers. She was ready to go to war. She was gonna tell, and I can almost bet it would have gone to court. No, she was gonna tell everything.
Britney is free. You heard it here.
Right.
You heard it here.
Wow.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Congratulations. I mean, that is makes me very, very happy. We've been talking about this.
Apparently, she was, she felt depressed because she wanted the conservatorship date, the hearing for the date, moved up into August. But my flag over the American flag. Yes, I'm tooting my horn. Is that bad? I know in my previous post I said you guys know my situation, but let me clarify. You only know half of it. So she probably threatened to put more out there, just like you're saying. She probably was like, you know what, I'm going to reveal everything. If we thought what we heard was bad, it's probably worse. I mean, this is phenomenal news. I mean, it's just shame that in America, at least you think, okay, over here, women are supposed to have rights, that this would be happening. And Britney's free. Wow. Hey, again,
and then
I'm not saying that it was thanks to us, but no.
No.
I do take credit for Governor Cuomo, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we definitely take credit for that.
Austin, where's this Catwoman thing?
It just popped up on my timeline on Twitter.
Catwoman the Hunted? Is that what it's called? Like Benji the Hunted?
I saw Grace Randolph tweet about it.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw too.
That's Ty's favorite YouTuber, Grace Randolph.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
dang it, we don't have.
that happened during our show. That's kind of cool. You know, we always try to break news, but that's a big one.
That's a big one to break. Yeah,
that's the biggest. Yeah. You know, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. You know, we try to bring it up, and I wish Ty was here, but like that. You know, it's kind of cool. You know, it finally happened. I can't wait to hear her free. You know,
I agree 100%.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, especially when they get started at Disney. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
he's probably trying to salvage his own thing. He wants some of that money. I mean, imagine how his life has changed. He gets to keep all of her tens and millions. He's in charge of her tens and millions, and he's probably going to want that back. She's probably going to be like, you know, oh, you're into a nursing home, Dad. You know.
Yeah. And then the last bit of breaking news here, the Disney did just have an investor call. They just wrapped that up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was weird. I just had a weird noise go on.
No, sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, that's my computer.
Kate was telling us about the Disney investor call. I don't know if they're announcing anything, but
it just happened. It just got done. So Shang-Chi will remain in theaters.
Okay.
And sorry, 1 second here. Shang-Chi will remain in theaters, and then we'll go to Disney Plus 45 days later.
Okay.
But they are not going to delay it or do a simultaneous release like they did with Black Widow, which is something they were thinking, or people were thinking was going to happen with the Delta variant getting more serious.
Caden, let's connect this to the next topic. So, Caden, get that transition button ready. So we're going to talk about Shang-Chi's and Disney's release topics, and it's going to connect with what Warner Brothers has just done recently. So stick around. The reason I want to bring it up because Warner Brothers, they sealed the deal back in March, and now it's finalized with AMC. That do a 45 exclusive theatrical window deal for 2022. AMC right now, wrong picture. AMC has been doing pretty well stock wise, but now with the Delta variant, and this is something else I want to talk about the DCEU, is a lot of people are saying the Delta variant is one of the reasons that Suicide Squad didn't overperform. It was a little bit below expectations at the box office, but it didn't overperform. But you're now telling me that Shang-Chi, Disney is not changing its plans.
Yeah, so this is their quote. They'll not debut on Disney Plus Premier Access due to distribution agreements and the practicality of making last-minute changes. So this is going to be, we'll see here in the next month. Obviously, it was announced earlier today. Venom 2 was moved from its September release to October 15th, which we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But, theaters are getting scared again. Obviously, the box office is going down. The big question mark and the big test will actually be this weekend. Free Guy is coming out this weekend with Ryan Reynolds, and that's going to be a theatrical exclusive. So we'll see who all goes out to the theater. They did do a lot of marketing for that. Obviously, they did the Deadpool and Korg video and like all that. So I mean, look, I personally believe things have changed a lot in a month from the time that Black Widow came out to now. Like, honestly, things got severely worse. We're going back and talking. The masks are back, at least over here on the West Coast.
They're back here today, starting today.
Yeah, so there's going to be some tests here. They're talking that if things are looking bleak, we may see some more moves. Here's the thing:
that's
Venom 2 moves out of this year. If it moves to 2022,
it moved to October 15th.
It's moved to October 15th right now. If it moves again to next year because of the virus or stuff, Spider-Man's definitely gone from this year. We won't get it until next year. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If Venom moves, the whole slate shifts.
Oh, maybe.
Like, why do you think everything's been moving for years with Venom 2? Like Venom 2 moves, all the Sony movies move, all the Spider-Man stuff moves.
I'm actually going to the movies tomorrow night. But
the funny thing is, it's only the U.S. that has Venom 2 moved. Everywhere else, Venom's staying.
Well, yeah, and that's another. We're in the comic stuff now. Well, and we'll maybe talk about this at the end. But let me tell you something, Katie. You want to know why? because the U.S. sucks at this whole pandemic coronavirus thing, and
They do.
I
might
want to talk about it a little bit.
I was going to say, let's talk about. Let's hit on it now because it's very much tied to.
Great. Well,
go ahead.
Well, I'd like to get your opinion. Kaden, actually, can you look up Arnold Schwarzenegger's new?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Bring that up for us, please. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, basically, it's so funny, right? You have the two media outlets, the liberals and the conservatives, spinning it each a different direction. Mm-hmm. So the conservatives are spinning it as Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out and says, "Oh God, what is he saying?" Like,
I didn't even hear about it.
Your freedom is. It was something funny. I laughed out loud when I saw it. This is what he said: "Screw your freedom" to anti-vaxxers. That's what he said. Or at least that's how the conservatives made it. He said, "Screw your freedom." I saw a tweet, right? That's with that headline. Arnold says, "Screw your freedom," and then on the top of the tweet says, "Well, now the liberals they're just saying it out front, aren't they?" And so, look, man. When you go and you read his full comments, or let's see, how long is it, Kaden? How long is the?
It's 4 minutes and
4 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, we'll watch a little bit of it.
Can you guys hear it?
No.
I think. Did you share the audio? You got to click on.
Hold on.
Just take it out and undo it. The one thing I agree with him. I agree with him. I don't know if I feel about forcing the vaccine. Like, I've been vaccinated since March. Here's the thing, though,
but you have to listen to his full comments. Yeah, that's all I have, because, like I said, they're spinning it and they're like, "Oh, he's a liberal and coming out and he wants to take away your freedom and blah 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 blah." Yeah, I can 100% agree with him, because guess what? Yeah. He's going to say it. Freedom comes with responsibility.
Let me.
First of all, you have to understand that as soon as the virus happened, and we have finally more and more people from government have, kind of acknowledged the fact that there is a virus, and they were kind of very late, may I remind you, in warning the people. But finally, when they did warn us and it did spread, and we had to kind of cancel our Arnold's Classic Sports and Fitness Festival in Columbus, and we were only allowed to have a limited crowd last March, meaning a year and a half ago. That's when I realized that we all have to now come together on this thing. And so I started putting posts out there about washing your hands regularly and wearing a mask and to do social distancing and to follow the kind of rules that the experts put out there, and to face the fact that this is here and this is going to grow and it's going to expand and it's going to really affect a lot of people's lives. And so now, cut year and a half later, we are still in a mess. And, there's still people that live in denials. There's still people that don't believe in masks. There's still people out there that say, well, we don't have to do social distancing and all this kind of stuff. And I just think that people ought to be reminded over and over that the experts are saying that we have to wear masks, especially when you go indoor. The experts are saying we still should wash our hands regularly. We should still do social distancing, especially now with this new comeback of the virus, which is the fourth round now, that we have to really go and work together on that. And there is misinformation out there. And my point of it was basically, look, I'm an expert on how to build a bicep. And so therefore, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've studied this issue. I know exactly how to create this peak and all this stuff. There's no one that knows more about a bicep than I do, because I studied this issue for 50 years. And the same is also with the virus. There are people out there that are experts that study this year after year after year, and that are experienced, like Dr. Fauci, that has been in this, probably for his entire life. I mean, why would you not believe someone like that? So, and there's so many other scientists out there and experts on this subject. So I believe them and I follow them very carefully. And of course, sometimes things are happening that are unexpected. So then you have to make the adjustments and all that. But I think people should know there is a virus here. It kills people. And the only way we prevent it is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time. and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom, because with freedom comes obligations and responsibilities. We cannot just say, I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. When you affect other people, that is when it gets serious. It's like no different than a traffic light. We put a traffic light at an intersection so someone doesn't kill someone else by accident. So this is why we have a traffic light. You cannot say, no one is going to tell me that I'm going to stop here, that I have to stop at this traffic light here. I'm going to go right through it. Yeah, then you kill someone else, and then it is your doing. So this is the same thing with the virus. You cannot go and not put a mask on, because when you breathe, you can infect someone else, and you can infect someone that then gets sick and may die. So this is why I think we all have to work together on this. The only way we can lick this virus is, again, if we do like I suggested earlier about politics, we have to come together rather than fighting.
Perfect.
And always just saying this according to my principle.
Yeah, we can stop it there. I mean, look, and he had mentioned earlier in the Corona pandemic, he talked about, look, I'm sorry, I agree. America did it wrong. The United States did it wrong. You brought it up here in that interview. We're on our fourth or fifth round of this, of masks, no mask. We're going back at, like, we just did not do it. Every other country fully shut down completely. Like, it wasn't a state by state thing. It wasn't like, no, the whole country shut down. The government sent out checks to everybody. Things were like, you look at the rest of the world, they're past this. We're the only ones.
That's not true.
Not the whole world, but a lot of other places are. You know what? Most of the world is a lot farther than we are. There are some places that are still.
I mean, but then you could point to a country like Sweden that never locked down. They just let everyone get it and just went forward with it.
That's a strategy.
Here's my question, and I want to. Are you willing to lock down and mask up, which I'm for, I'm vaccinated and everything, in perpetuity, like forever? Because it's seeming like, and I feared this back in 20, that this isn't really ever going to go away. It's going to be like the flu or like pneumonia or something. It's just always.
I'm sorry. I think that's just not even rational thinking. Like, you really think that they're going to enforce masks and closures and keeping us inside forever now? Like, that's the, like, you.
No, I'm asking you.
It's a season. It's a thing. Like, it's an inconvenience to everybody. Yeah, like, I totally. I don't like it. I don't like wearing the masks. I don't like getting shots. I don't like doing these things, and it sucks. But it's not forever. I don't look at it that way. I really don't.
No, I'm not saying about look. I'm just saying
right.
That could be a reality, because after the Delta variant, you might get another variant. You might get. To what point is the end game? The second point I want to, if people aren't
at some point they're going to figure something out where it's going to be like like the flu. You get a vaccine every year. You get
they have it. They have the full on cure for this. The only reason why they're not releasing, because if they release every cure for all the diseases that they have, the medical industry would not be needed to be.
Hold on. That's a whole nother conversation. But that's a whole that's a whole. We won't even go there.
Here's the thing. To touch on Caden's point, there's a lot of other things. 70% of the people. First of all, we got to get clear here. It's not that COVID itself kills you. It's just that it weakens your immune system and something else might kill you. That's what I was just reading recently. It's not that in the same way that AIDS lowers your immune system to the point where something else could kill you.
Like if you get AIDS, then you get the cold, and then the cold will kill you.
Cold will kill you, exactly. That's why a lot of times, they used to make jokes about it, unfortunately, that people who have AIDS will dress warmer when they go out. Like, even if it's, let's say, 70 degrees out, they'll put on a light sweater just to make sure they don't get sick. But 70% of the people who have died, at least in the United States before, the one thing that was a factor was obesity. And the one thing we're not talking about is that obesity there's respiratory issues, there's heart issues, diabetes and stuff like that. But you can't really talk about it because politically we're also in a very body positivity movement, and everything gets connected. Another thing you got all these sort of people in the world like, I ain't getting vaccinated here.
Right.
The largest areas where people unfortunately are not getting vaccinated are in the inner cities. I've met that statistically a large chunks, not all inner cities, a large chunk of people in inner cities are just not getting vaccinated. I think there's a couple of factors. One, they don't want to get vaccinated for whatever reason. Not that they're conspiracy, they just don't want to get it. Number two, to get vaccinated, you need to have an ID to prove who you are. And unfortunately, in a lot of inner cities, a lot of people don't necessarily always have ID, whether it be driver's license or state ID. And my only question is that unless, I don't know if I should say this, the Fauci emails that were released due to the Freedom of Information Act, in it, he tells someone, unless you're wearing a K95 mask, it really doesn't make a difference. And that's where the double masking came in. My only question to this is that I don't know if this will ever go away. Chances are it's going to drop in the next few months, and then when it gets cold again, it's going to go back up. Wouldn't it be good for us as Americans, in addition to masking up, and getting the vaccine? First of all, if you don't get the vaccine and you get it, then that's on you. Like that's you're stupid for not doing that. Now, yes, they're going to be mitigating circumstances. Some people can't, for health reasons, get the vaccine because they're older or whatnot. But I am not one of those people who's pro-anti-vaxxers. Like, I think you should get it if you're young, even if you're healthy. Because here's the thing, the vaccine won't mean you won't get it. It just means you'll help you fight it. It's the same thing with, like, you guys ever gotten a flu vaccine?
Yeah. No,
it doesn't mean you'll never get the flu ever again. It just means when you get it, you'll be able to fight it better. And I maybe got the flu vaccine like in my adult life like twice. And that's a personal choice. I'm like, whatever. And I rarely get the flu. But if I do get it, I'm like, whatever. But my point is, when he said, I understand when he's talking about free responsibility. The question is the people themselves have to be responsible, not the government taking that responsibility for the people. If it kind of reminds me of a Bill Burr skit that, if we have too many people, we need a plague or a virus. And I think right now this is, in a weird way, a strange kind of social Darwinism. I am hesitant about giving too much power to the government. I know we're all okay with it right now because we trust Biden. But what happens when another Donald Trump comes in? I'm playing devil's advocate, and he has that power, and he can lock down. What
Arnold was saying is that even though, the government needs to take responsibility, but he's also saying that, the anti-vax, people that are just, they're spreading misinformation as on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. They also need to take responsibility as a citizen of America and as a human being to take care of their other human beings as well.
Exactly.
And be cautious of their well-being as well. And be responsible.
And unfortunately, and this is part of our culture, not just American culture, we are by nature very selfish. We think about me. Look, I'll be honest with you. When I saw the Masked Man, I was like, not because I was like I'm anti anything. I was like, we're going back to this again.
Yeah, because it sucks that we have to keep on flip flop. It's like that. It's like that scene.
And we lost him.
Caden, did you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Look, integrity. I'm not going to argue about the FDA approval and everything. I also understand a lot of stuff's happening. But my question is, would you be for government mandating it? That's where, even though for the name of security, I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable. I'm vaccinated. My mom, dad, we're all vaccinated. That's not really my problem. But people who either choose to not get vaccinated, not because
I think certain people, for example, government individuals and officials, you got to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, period.
Like I said, huge chunks of major cities that are not getting vaccinated. I can't imagine the optics of sending the National Guard into people's homes. I'm like,
well, look, dude, you're also. I'm sorry, I disagree with the whole inner city thing. There are places that you can go get vaccinated that you don't need an ID. That the government has made it very open and very accessible to get vaccine.
That was me. That was me. The problem is that there are huge chunks statistically that are just simply not getting vaccinated.
Yeah, but it's not. It has nothing to do with whether
that was just
they
what I was,
can't-
that was
whether-
hypothesizing. I was like, I don't know
no,
why.
it has absolutely nothing to do. It's because they've chosen either not to.
Why aren't they getting vaccinated?
Because they've chosen either not to, or they are unfortunately listening to the conspiracy theory crap that's online.
Yeah, but the conspiracy theory crap is on the right, though. They're not watching Tucker Carlson and Fox News.
But it still makes its way. It still makes its way around. And I'll say this: I have a lot of family in the medical industry. I have, an uncle who's a pathologist. I have, my mother's in the nursing. I have a sister who's a doctor. I would just recommend highly. All of them recommend vaccines.
Absolutely. I'm saying there is a problem for whatever reason. Look, I remember when I first got it back in March because I worked during the second lockdown. I started working as a home health care aide because everything was shut down, so I needed some money. I would talk to them like, "Yeah, I got my vaccine," and they were like, "I ain't getting that." Yeah, I don't trust it.
Look, at this point, it's not an issue of if you don't get a vaccine. It's more of an issue of you being selfish.
But yeah.
Well, I just think it's a selfish thing at this point. 75, but do unto others. You may not be susceptible to the virus. You may not have a bad immune system. You may not be an older age or whatever. You may be of perfect health and all that. You may hate all of this.
You can also transmit it even if you are vaccinated. That's the other aspect of it. Like I might have it in my body right now and I don't know.
Look, yeah, you can also get the flu if you get the flu vaccine.
Exactly.
None of this stuff is guaranteed. I think I'd probably do draw the line there. I don't think you can necessarily, because I can't think of any vaccine that is nationally required.
You know who could make a huge difference in this? If the Biden administration wanted to do this, it'd be a tough sell. Have Trump speak on it. If they said, Trump, hey, the vaccine came out while you were president, why don't you take credit for it?
Why the hell would they do that?
If for the people, at least on the right, who are anti-vax, to get the
He's only making it work. The dude got COVID and it was like literally he is the last person on earth that you want talking about the vaccine.
I would say just to get people vaccinated. Name it the Trump vaccine. And like, yes, everyone should get vaccinated. It was all thanks to me.
And you know what? His supporters are so dedicated to his crazy ideology that you can actually go and watch, like, people have done interviews and stuff of them asking Trump supporters, well, if Trump supports the vaccine, will you support it? Now, they've gotten to Trump now. They done got to him.
And they're not all like that.
If he comes out like that, they don't all got
I know a lot of Trump supporters in the rural areas.
No, they're not all like that, but I'm sorry, that is what I defer to.
The other thing, too,
I've seen the most.
You'll see Republicans, right, or right-wingers, they'll go into like a black neighborhood and they'll find like one black person, like, who's the first president? I don't know. Like, these are Democrats. Like, I hate those types of videos. Like, that's not true. And their left will do. They'll find like the biggest hillbilly with like tooth. Like, you like Trump? Like, I love Trump. That's not
the answer to your question. Integrity is yes, they did. They did. Look at the numbers last year. Absolutely.
Like you were talking about other countries. You also have to take into effect a couple of things. Like a lot of people point to countries in Europe, like Norway, for example. And this is always my issue with Bernie Sanders when you talk about socialism in Norway. I said Norway has the population of Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is like the 5th largest city in America. We are a very large country. So, yes, our numbers will always be worse when it comes to this stuff. Number two, I think it's not that people don't believe the data. I think people are just fed up. And I think that's the point that neither the left or the right get.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Also,
look, it's an inconvenience on everybody.
And also to counter Integrity's point of the 74% of recent infections. But in California, I think is it like the 3rd or 2nd largest state in
I didn't hear about
the US.
California is the largest state.
Yeah,
I'd also be curious to know
and
how
also
many people
about California is that 99% of the people that got the virus and that was after 4th of July weekend were all unvaxxed people.
Yeah. So
That's just and
exactly.
74% of recent
This
Massachusetts
video is getting
were
so
fully
black,
vaxxed.
by the way. Let's start cursing.
Oh
But,
yeah, no, this video is definitely demonetized. It was like
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour
Let's
ago.
start cursing.
yeah, but like again, you're talking about like, and I think even like weeks and weeks and weeks after the 4th of July weekend in California, 99% of the people that were getting the virus and dying from the virus were unvaxxed people.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the biggest state in the U.S.
Yeah.
So take that in consideration.
Exactly. And look, clarify, you can still get it if you're vaxxed.
Yeah, you can still get it because
a vaccine is not it's not like a health bar
like cure or like a immune system that put it into you.
Chances are, many of you watching, you may have already gotten it and not realized.
Yeah,
it affects people differently. My whole family got it; they were fine. I had a bad voice for like a week.
And also like
some people
the vaccine is made out of a dead virus.
Yeah,
like they're putting a dead virus into you.
Yeah.
To help your immune system to build up to that virus. When it does come to you, you are able to battle it. When your immune system is able to battle it more than someone who is unvaccinated. So if you have the flu shot already, your immune system is better with the flu, cold, and all that stuff. Tdap, your tetanus, and all that stuff. That's what the vaccines are. They're dead viruses mixed with antibodies to put into your body to make you stronger with your immune system against a virus or against a disease. Because vaccines aren't cures; they're not immune medicines, and so, and also with the whole we have all different reactions to the virus, and also different reactions to the
COVID,
vaccine.
And the second shot made me feel way worse than COVID ever did. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's different because again, it's different. It's different.
Some people got
and for me, when I got my second shot, I was throwing up all night that night.
Oh, that was
like the second one.
I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was shivering. Mind you, this is a summer day. I'm shivering, and luckily my dad was awake. I texted him like, "Dude, can you give me a blanket?" He brought me 2 comforters. It was just weird, but the actual COVID didn't do that to me. But here, let me juxtapose and play devil's advocate. And this is something that the former president did bring up. He didn't say it eloquently, but he did mention it. Is the psychological damage it is doing. The small businesses like Walmart, they'll be fine. Amazon, doing great. AMC, they'll survive. But smaller businesses that take years to build. I work in small business, me and my dad. We had 4 projects lined up. You think I'd be doing this show if they weren't? No, I'm joking. I would. But my point is, there is a lot of, and sometimes some issues I have with the democratic tax system is that it goes after small businesses and kind of prohibits growth. Small businesses are not millionaires. They're usually people making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and you got to get people health insurance. You got to do all that. The damage that can be done on that end is also catastrophic. There's been a lot of suicides.
I know it is, but you know what, man? Nothing's worse than letting this thing roam free and everybody and dude, I mean, it would be I'm
not saying that either, but I'm saying
it would be the Black Plague, and I'm telling you right now, like I see your point.
It wouldn't be the Black Plague because the death rate of the Black Plague was like 50%. Like this is
you let this thing run rampant and nobody do anything about it. Just sit back.
It would not be like the Black Plague.
I'm telling you, dude, this is
totally different thing. Hold on.
So the thing about the Black Plague is that I think it was in March. It showed up again in California, like for like a week.
Yeah,
because some dude got it in Big Bear.
It's basically we didn't have antibiotics.
Yeah.
If they had antibiotics and then the Black Plague, that would have solved everything.
Yeah. But I just think it's look.
Look, we're talking about less than 1% of people would die, but in a country of 350 million people, that's a lot of people. Like we'll say, oh, it's less than 1%. I'm like, yeah, but that's a couple million people who are going to die. Not to mention children who are really small who might have autoimmune issues. My mom's client, he's a little boy with Down syndrome. He has autoimmune issues. He can't get vaccinated, like medically. So, like that kid is always going to be at risk. Like he could get it and what happens to him. And they're older people who can't even take the vaccine because of their age. Luckily, my dad he's a young 70. Like, he still works, he still goes to the gym. He's
right.
healthy,
But look, there are always going to be cases. You know, you can't. I
agree with you. Yes.
I just think, yeah, there's always going to be, you know, cases.
What's VAERS? VAERS.
VAERS.
Oh, wait, I heard about that. I think I was watching Timcast and they were talking about that. Like, I also don't agree with that.
Vaccine adverse event reporting system.
Okay, so here's the thing. Some people will say, well, you know, more people get killed by cars. Agreed. But like, and some people made this, you know, about our presence in Afghanistan. Well, only in hindsight, only 3,000 people died on 9/11. Are we making too big of a deal about it? And I said, that's not the point. Look, the one thing I would say is I'm not for forced vaccines. I would say, look, if you know someone who's anti-vax, or talk to them. Don't argue with them. Talk to them. Just be like, look, I got the vaccine. I'm fine. Whatever you heard. What did you hear? Oh, Alex Jones said this, or your neighbor said this. That's not true. Or, you know, right. I have no reason to lie to you. Let's say the government's lying to you, but I have no reason. Talk to people. But forced vaccines, I'm against, even for our own safety. I'm against forcing people. And by force, at some point, you have to knock down doors like the Gestapo, like, open the door. But there's a couple of things that there's a problem with America. And this is not just the last 10 years. This has always been a problem in America. We are very anti-intellectual. This goes back to the slavery days. They used to believe that black people had like smaller brains and were like dumber. Therefore, they had to be slaves. And if you had someone who said, actually, biologically, they're the same as white men, they're like, no. Like, they didn't want to even hear it. This has always been a big problem. And it's a bigger problem when you're the most powerful economic and military power in the world. My dad has a saying that when America sneezes, the whole world gets a cold. So whatever we do has a big effect on other people. For some reason, we as a country, and this goes back, the very fact that words like nerd, dork, you know, bookworm exist, it's because people don't like people who are smarter than them or know something more than someone. Oh, you're a nerd. You're a geek. You study. You read. And that's very prevalent. So when someone from the CDC or a scientist who has spent years studying something says something, it's a very American thing, left and right, to insult, hate, and distrust that person because as Americans, and it's not just the right-wing problem, we are very anti-intellectual. We never say, oh, let me read up on that. Let me look into that. We don't want to. And in an age when information is at your fingertips, unfortunately, as a country, we are very anti-intellectual. We don't want to hear someone smarter than us speak. You know, we want to watch idiots on YouTube who put their name on the show. I'm talking about T.Y.'s Corner. No,
oh, come on.
But I think that's okay. So let me see what.
And sometimes Jivin With Jack apparently now too.
Yeah, I know. We were going to talk about the DCEU. You guys still want to talk about that?
My
thing to everyone is, look, if you know someone who's anti-vax, talk with them. Don't argue with them. Don't yell at them. Don't call them stupid. Talk with them. The more people that if you can get vaccinated, if your doctor says you can't, that's a whole other story. But that's the one thing that's going to help end this. I'm not for lockdowns. I hate the mask mandates, but I wear them. I started wearing mine yesterday. I even ordered a couple more with like the Punisher on it, you know, make it fun. But that's all I have to say about that. Caden, your thoughts?
My thoughts on. I was
messing with you. Any last thoughts about this?
No, like I said, get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated so we can get to these movie theaters. We can move on.
And look, to reiterate, freedom comes with responsibility. All right, we have a privilege in this nation that most of the world does not have. We have,
not at all.
You know, we have the freedom. No, of course not. Integrity. Look, your opinion is always welcome. We will tell you that we disagree or agree with you. But you're always, your opinion is always welcome. So please, no, dear God, don't ever think that.
Message me on Jivin With Jack on Twitter. Some of the information, send me the data for that. I'd like to see.
Right.
That. I don't know what.
If you ever want to talk,
maybe it's information I don't know, but.
Exactly. Look, all I can tell you is from experience, from the people that I know who are in the medical industry, whether it be, family or whatever. Like Schwarzenegger said, freedom comes with responsibility. It's the right thing to do. There are a lot of people in this country that do have a weakened immune system. I'm one of them, and it's just important. So
Exactly.
it's
putting Austin at risk.
And,
look, if something would happen to Austin, do you know how annoying it would be for me to find a new co-host? I have to get a big drip back. Adam Silvestri, do you want that?
Exactly, yeah. So keep me alive, guys. Just get back to me.
And Jesus himself said, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Jesus definitely did not say that, but I
said it. Whatever, American Jesus. But listen, guys,
that white guy that has blue eyes and brown long hair that disguises Jesus said that. But is he Jesus?
Hi is like, now let's get into climate change, baby.
Climate change.
Yeah. Right.
Might as well keep the political thought talking.
Hey, man, I can attest to you. I've lived in Las Vegas my entire life, and in the last couple of years, I have seen things. I've seen things with the weather in this little desert hole that I'm in that I could. We've gone through all 4 seasons in a day here. I mean, like, I totally agree. Look, the climate, it's getting worse. It's getting hot. We have to absolutely do something about that. The unfortunate thing with climate change is we're the ones stuck with it, like us or like our kids or whatever. We're gonna be the ones stuck with dealing with it and having to all that. So there's a lot to figure out and talk about there, but
you know what the problem is? And no one wants to say it.
Oh boy.
Too many people on this earth. Thanos was right. That's the problem. Too many people on this. I'm not saying that we should get rid of half the population, but that's the underlying problem. There's too many people. So a lot of people have to use electricity. Like a person in India has no less right to electricity or automotive car than I do. So
what they did in Wall-E, they took half the population to space, and then let
the
other half of the population on Earth die.
Ever a time we need to learn to travel faster than light. Those aliens, if there's something you can do for us, teach us how to travel faster than light. That would actually be a multi-planet solution. The Earth should not have 7.5 billion people, maybe 4.
Hey man, Interstellar exactly. is great.
We're going to irrigate the crap out of this planet until there's nothing left.
Yeah, Interstellar's a great. We were. We started here. We were never meant to die here, right?
Yep. Yeah, we started here. We're never meant to die here. Oh, you're in Ontario. Yo, 75 YBA. I actually I do work in Ontario. Not recently, but pre-pandemic, we actually do water treatment plants in Ontario. So
can interviewers stop asking celebrities on their hygiene?
Yeah, do you guys take baths? Do you guys shower?
I thought I was normal, but I didn't realize that people are not like good on hygiene. Like I shower like twice a day.
Like
I shower and shave before every show, unlike some people.
Dude, no, okay, yeah, this thing goes. Listen,
I'm at the show, shave it.
Again, this thing is gonna go until I'm playing a post-apocalyptic part, so I'm supposed
to. Dude, if you grow out a big beard, they're gonna think we're like Taliban or something like
that is terrible, especially that you said it. Oh my gosh, this guy.
See, this is why people hate scientists, because they say shit like this.
Like, what does that mean?
Guy. No, he's actually right. He's right. You actually
Justin, get out of here. We don't need your smart knowledge.
Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna build a motor car in my GTO. Build up with fuel. I'll go faster than light. Yep, across the river. Yeah, Justin's right. You actually. But my point is, we need to learn how to do that. So whoever's showing up and doing stuff, whether it's the U.S. government or it's the aliens, learn how to do that. So we can
I have aliens coming next week. Do you want me to bring them on to Jivin With Jack next Tuesday? Aliens on Jivin With Jack.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I wanted to actually wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about it, but I think we'll wait.
Yep,
hashtag cancel Jack. It's
cancel Jack.
Jivin with Austin. Jack supports genocide.
No,
it's basically that.
Austin with Austin.
You know.
It is now
There we go. I am in charge, and now you're both gone. No, you're back.
Boo!
Sorry,
Boo!
sorry, Dad.
Boo! Now Thanos was wrong. Only half, maybe more like 2/3. That probably even things out. It's kind of funny because if you got
or how about this?
Here's the thing, right? It depends how you define conspiracy theory here, right? Because you said the Epstein thing. I never thought the Epstein thing was a conspiracy theory. Like I always thought that was true and stuff. Now there are other conspiracy theories out there. I'll give you one. And again, nothing to you if you believe it. But there's definitely some conspiracy theories out there that some people believe that Trump is still the president. For example, So I think obviously like with the Epstein thing, that's been proven true. Like that's not a conspiracy theory, anymore.
Right, he's not
yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. If you ever come out and say conspiracy theory right off the bat,
protecting bad people. That's coming out now. Weinstein, R. Kelly. Epstein is probably just a tip of the iceberg. The Spanish-American War, folks. Look up the story of the USS Maine. That proven true. Look up the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which got us into Vietnam. The Secretary of Defense himself said, yeah, chances are the North Vietnamese probably never fired at us, which is his way of saying the North Vietnamese were not stupid enough to fire at an American battle cruiser. But that's the story that went. North Vietnam attacked us. We got to go to Vietnam. This stuff has happened. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think there's some strange things around the JFK assassination. There's stuff. Lincoln was the victim of a conspiracy. It was a conspiracy within certain group of people who wanted him gone.
Isn't it like?
But the trick is not to believe every conspiracy.
Right. Isn't it like there's a theory that or a rumor or whatever that the person that killed JFK is like second cousins of an actor or director or something like that.
Yeah,
I've heard that one. I'll give you another conspiracy theory. There is a conspiracy theory that the WB boycotters are the reason that Suicide Squad is not doing well.
Oh,
that is not true.
Oh, I heard this one. I heard that one.
You guys want to get into the DCEU? Is that why you're here?
Do it.
You don't want to hear us talking about the
politics.
Vaccine? You know what's funny? This is what Ty wanted for the morning pod. He wanted to do politics, and I was like, it's a hot button issue. Leave it alone. And look at us over here. This is what happens when Ty's not here. If Ty's here, he kind of like reels us in a little bit. But no, when he's not here, the toilet's clogged, the roof's leaking. There's a dead hooker in the living room, just.
Yep.
It sounds like Jack's apartment is falling apart.
Yeah. Oh, integrity. Look, every news channel you watch exposed Jeffrey Epstein of almost every month. It's been removed. I will say one thing that I do not like. Trump has been doing rallies and YouTube has been removing them. Now, as a private company, they can do that, but I don't know if that's a good thing in terms of freedom of speech. I know that freedom of speech is about the government not stopping, but in terms of free society, I'm like, dude, let him, as awful as it is, just let him do. I don't think they should remove his speeches from YouTube, even though he's a jerk.
All right, kids, play nice. Play nice. We encourage healthy, friendly debate in the chat. But play nice.
Not me.
No, Integrity Benson needs to stop now.
Benson brings a gun.
He's gone.
Integrity.
I'll end the whole damn thing. We play nice. You understand?
This is what I wanted. What happened?
This is now just the Jack and
I'm sorry,
Caden
I got
stream.
angry. I told myself, listen. That was.
We all have anger problems.
That was a different me. Okay, that was from another
time. We got a Trump supporter. Look, you're welcome. I've been wanting everyone is welcome here. All opinions are equal, but not all facts are equal. But
yes.
Oh my God, this is great. I hope this gets like 500 views, and then Ty's like, just make the show this. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. No, my point is, I will not deny that they will I'll get Drip here with all of his like wrong information. We can still make fun of him, right? I miss him.
Right.
A little bit. Not too much, but DeSantis 2028. As long as he's not running speech about it, just let it ride.
Who's DeSantis?
No, that's a whole other thing. What connotes?
Lynn 2032. I'm taking over the White House, baby. Bring Caden with me.
Yes, Vice President Keaton with President
Look,
Austin.
I'm from the UK, and Trump is awesome. You poor sausages having to enjoy.
Hey, listen, Benson. It's not our fault. Our president doesn't know where he is.
Right. Look, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No, I'll say this. I'll say, Benson, by the way, none of us, we may not agree with you politically. We're not going to tell you to go away, or we're not. I know other YouTubers.
Yeah, no.
Go away.
No.
Oh, Caden, yeah. Mike. Caden's he's from California.
Yeah.
He thinks Bernie Sanders is too conservative.
No.
No. I'm talking to Benson. I'm talking to Benson and Integrity in the chat. Play nice.
Benson, welcome to the show, man. But here, look. I'll say this maybe before we jump into the DCEU. If gas prices keep going up and we go into another lockdown and a sluggish economy, crazier things have happened in American politics. He could win 2024. That's all I'm saying.
I will say this. He
wasn't supposed to win in 2020, 2016.
I'll take the bet if we got to close that gap a little bit of 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years.
I'll take the bet.
15 years.
Ben Affleck will be Michael Keaton's age.
I think Benson is joking. He has to be joking. Yeah, because there's Integrity. He's lying. He's got to be joking because, yeah.
I'll bet you
15 years.
That's one of the bets.
Give it 4 years.
If somebody took me on that bet, I'd be like, yes. That's like one of those bets. Like, hey, dude, I'll bet you that someday Jim Carrey wins an Oscar. And when he's 70 in 20 years or something, you owe me $700. You know.
All right, guys. Here we go. Okay, you know what? Let's talk DCEU. Listen, I had fun talking about. Look, I understand. I'm not saying you should always trust the government, and I'm not saying that at all. But when it comes to
trust your government because they are telling you the truth and they are right.
Friends.
Well, we don't gotta.
They are your friends. We are your friends.
We don't have to go that.
We are watching. Big Brother is watching.
I'm 75, yeah.
No shit. You're from Northern Ireland. Wait.
Dude, first of all,
that means you're a Protestant.
It has been my dream to go to Ireland.
Northern Ireland?
I love Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Cousin went to Ireland.
Northern Ireland is part of the UK. True story. I was conceived in Dublin.
Well, I also like regular,
and my sister was named after an Irish nun. Yeah, that's where all the. Yeah, Austin, you're a Protestant. You feel comfortable in Northern Ireland.
Wait,
I have a question.
It's so beautiful.
Oh wait, never mind.
I'm enjoying this. Can we talk about the DCEU? Can Caden
hit
the
we can.
So we can talk about the DCEU before I do real quick, Benson, Integrity, 75 YBA, Northern Ireland, wherever you guys are, welcome. Let's talk about the DCEU. Okay, so the point I wanted to make about
Who did that?
I didn't.
I didn't.
My hands are right here.
What the heck?
I thought you were in the comments.
I clicked on this image, and then that happens.
Who did it?
What is that?
What
is that?
That's who did it. That's where Ty is.
I was like, what the heck?
Things over here.
75 Yama wants to talk religion next. Actually, yeah, we're canceling DCEU. We're going into religion next, guys.
The DCEU is canceled. The last movie of the DCEU will be back. Wait.
Zack Snyder 2024. I'm with that one. I'll take that.
For president?
I don't care. Just Zack Snyder 2024. It's the year of Zack Snyder.
Oh, Benson said
officially after 2024, we can refer to everything after that as ZS.
Okay, Integrity and Benson, please calm down a little bit.
Yeah, he's saying this episode is so hectic, but you're watching it still because part of you loves it. You like watching a car crash, don't you? But anyway, let's talk about the DCEU. I've been doing a lot of things.
Hold on, let me address this real quick before we get on here. All right, Integrity.
I got
Benson.
mad.
No. Okay, listen. Doesn't matter. Even if it's true, it's not that big of a deal.
Problems here. Yeah.
It's all good. Nobody needs to share screenshots. Everybody simmer down a bit. Let's talk about the DCEU.
Jivin With Jack on Twitter. Just send me the picture.
Yeah. That's not my problem. I think a real.
All right.
Bad Jack. Don't entice.
So no, I'm just joking. Look, guys, keep it friendly, but we're not going to kick anyone out unless you're purposely.
We're going to kick out every single person that brings up doo-doo. If you bring up doo-doo, then you're kicked out.
Yeah, there you go. Don't bring up doo-doo. Everyone type in hashtag doo-doo. The larger point I wanted to make. I've been thinking a lot about, we've been talking about all weekend, sort of the arguments people having online about, the Snyderverse, Iron Cut, et cetera, et cetera. And I've come to a conclusion. I am a very opinionated person. I'm a very passionate person, but I always think that facts always would lead the way down. I think that possibly, and I have a role to play in this, that we have oversold how successful the Snyder Cut was. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Oh, for sure.
But we oversold it, maybe by our own fault.
Okay, Justin, you're gone.
Well, no. What did Justin say? Oh, okay.
He's kidding.
No, Justin's cool. I think he's a paying member too, dude. Paying members don't get kicked out.
Yeah. No matter what you say,
give them a
Yeah.
fine.
If you're a member of the channel, you can say doo-doo, but if you're not, then if you say doo-doo, you get kicked.
Don't leave. You're allowed to stay. You integrity. Come on. Grab a Heineken. What do they drink in Ireland? Grab a Guinness. Grab a Guinness. I'll have a Heineken. That's American, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I got my.
Alcohol always, I found, solves problems. But
Okay. Benson and Integrity, please calm down.
Yeah, guys.
This is getting a little too.
Play nice. All right.
Both of you calm down. I want both your inputs on this, and I want everyone else to jump in the comment section.
Hold on, I gotta look up who John Oates
I think we have oversold
John Oates.
Hold on a second. To the point that I think we made it seem like the Snyder Cut was like Avengers Endgame, and to the point where we had some people say, "Oh, the Avengers Endgame was beat by the Snyder Cut in China and stuff like that." They take a little bit of information and they extrapolate it. I want the Snyderverse restored. I want to see the Ayer Cut, but I think this idea that by supporting the Suicide Squad that we were therefore hating on Snyder is not true. It's not true, but I think that we need to tone down our.
But did you know that James Gunn was hired at DC to be infiltrated the DCEU for Marvel? Like Kevin and Walter are in talks, so then he can take over. That James Gunn and Kevin Feige can take over the DCEU.
Yeah.
I want to say something high
conspiracy theory.
But you know what?
Speaking of it,
that we're becoming a real YouTube channel when we have stuff like this happening, because we always had like normal people, and by normal I mean good people. But you're in Canada, but Irish and Scottish family over there drinking an IPA.
He's drinking an IPA. He's drinking an IPA.
I think that Indian Pale Ale is offensive to my people. Well, they're not my people anymore,
That's
but
right.
they were in 1947.
Yeah, look, but overall, look, yeah. People, I've been seeing, just ridiculous information. Look, I'm a fan. Of course, the whole Snyder fandom, right, was a fan of the Snyder Cut. We all loved Zack Snyder's Justice League. Here's the thing. It was just after that, it felt like the fandom split in two. Oh, look at that. He's got the poster up. He's got it up.
How hard I was to get that poster, an official poster, because $40.
No, Benson, but Zod Rider is right. He is right, though.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he's a number 2 officially. I think he's just
it's just like because there's this YouTuber who claims that that James Gunn and Kevin Feige and Walter Amada are in talks for Kevin Feige to take over the DCEU with James Gunn.
Yeah,
I don't want
I honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even want to address that because it's such a load of crap.
Yes.
And I've already gotten a little bit in trouble for saying things like no offense to Zod Rider. Seems like a nice guy and all of that.
No, I like them. It's so rude, but I love it.
These are just movies, and the toxic Ayer and Snyder fans need to find themselves.
Or boyfriend. Come on, Benson.
Don't gender assume. We don't gender assume here, Ben. That's what's gonna put you in timeout. No, I'm kidding. I think to a certain extent you are correct. Look, it just felt like the fandom split in two. The fandom split into realists and then people who are just delusional. But people, I see people telling me that it was more successful than Endgame, that it was the biggest movie ever, that it was how? Where are you getting this? And in fact, HBO, and then y'all are complaining and crying and bitching and moaning that HBO won't release the numbers. They won't tell me how.
Dude, I'm one of them. I want to see the numbers.
And then guess what? When they told you that it was 5th this year, you didn't like it. And now you're going to find any other excuse.
Look at the other way. The number 5 movie on HBO Max was a movie that was made 5 years ago. If you look at it the other way, like, wow, that's actually pretty good.
Very good.
10th or 20th. By the way, I'm one of those people who wants to see.
But it's not. Here's the thing.
I've had HBO Max as an adult, HBO Go, and all that stuff. And when I was a kid, my parents had HBO. So this family has had HBO for 30 plus years. I am a stole holder, not a stockholder. Anyone who buys it, we have a right to those numbers, I think, as stakeholders. But my point is, going back to what you were saying, Austin, we want this to be bigger than it actually was. And look, I hate to say this, but every person who's not a comic book fan, all my friends are not into comic book and movies like I am, comic book movies. When they saw the Snyder cut, they liked it.
You know the cut that I want of a film?
But they were like, okay, I'm moving on. That was a cool film.
Yeah, you know what the cut I want from a film is the Weasel cut of A Cat in the Hat.
Okay.
That's the cut I want.
That's
Justin, I want this episode is not getting monetized, so you can go ahead and curse.
Yeah.
Justin's a good friend of mine. Me and him have gotten into it about politics. We have a very
right. But
yes, the Weasel in the Hat. Weasel in the Hat is the film that I want to see.
Enough with the Weasel in the Hat. Enough.
No.
Weasel in the Hat is dead.
Look,
bury it.
You're talking about conspiracy theories. So you know how they say that Weasel killed 27?
Why does Jack look like that?
No, but listen to this. You know how they say that Weasel is like killed 27 kids and he survives? It's supposed to be like a pro. I don't know if I can use the word. People who really love children. You know the word that begins with a P.
Yeah.
Gun was at a party theme 20 years ago.
I have to say the same thing that Jarbo has to say. If you have evidence that he is that, take it to the police. Don't take it to this chat.
Yeah. And by the way, if you are one of those people, chances are you hide it. Now, what is James Gunn? He's the South Park generation. Now, South Park makes fun of that issue. That doesn't mean they're for it. They make fun of it. They had a whole episode about the Catholic Church having a meeting, like, the little boys keep reporting us. How do we stop them from reporting us? Like, I'm a Catholic, practicing Catholic, and I think it was funny. No one is above a joke. So,
wow.
James Gunn.
You know what?
Yeah.
Jack, you are the P word as well because you're a Catholic.
Yeah.
According to who? I don't know.
Right.
According to who?
According to, I don't know. According to conspiracy theories.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's fine. You can never not love children, so okay. My point is,
like Michael Scott, he's a child lover.
Here's what happened. He attended a party dressed up as a priest, and they were making fun of those people.
Right.
You had like adults dressed as children, and is something I would do? No, but I get the joke. You're kind of making fun of it. I remember like 10 years ago, Bill Maher dressed up as Steve Irwin with a stingray hanging out of his chest. And like, I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Now, that crosses a line. Is a line that I would cross? No, but it's comedy. If you don't like it, don't watch it. There are certain episodes of South Park that I skip because I'm like, okay, that's a little too far for me. I don't tell people cancel South Park. My point being, that's James Gunn's sense of humor. That's his sense of humor. And I understand the very politically correct world. I can see him, but to call him the P word, you have to give me evidence for that. And I don't think he's someone who finds it funny for what not the actual thing itself, but making fun of that. Look, you know, one of the reasons, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me, that some society today, at least America, is more tolerant of gays than it was 20 years ago. It was because of shows like Will and Grace. It was because of Ellen. It was because of
it's because of media.
Let's make a couple of gay jokes to show how dumb homophobia is. They did it in Friends. Chandler was incredibly homophobic, and by laughing at how stupid he was about it, you know, it actually was like, okay, wait, why do I hate these people? I guess he does. I kid you not, that made a difference. Humor is a powerful tool. And so James Gunn did these parties, and now they're drawing lines. Well, Weasel survived because it's James like fist bump.
And then, and also some people are saying, oh, he mentions he mentions kids 3 times or 4 times in the movie and all that stuff. I'm like, every movie mentions kids like 5 times in it. Like, literally, Taken is about a kid. Are you gonna say that Liam Neeson's the P word?
Well, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm just.
Yeah. But I I guess. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care until the evidence is presented to me. That's what I'm about. I'm about evidence. Everything else is speculation. And
exactly, evidence is important. Speaking of evidence, Joel Kinneman, Caden, if you can find it. If not, I know what, I'll pull it up. I know where it is.
I know. I also have the post.
Oh, here we go. Joel Kinneman is under investigation for the R word. I don't want to say what it is, but basically, he was some model has accused him of certain behavior. We don't want to use the word. And it also turned out that he had a restraining order against her. He was like, dude, get this woman away from me, because prior to the allegation of what she said happened, he was saying she's trying to extort me. She's saying that, hey, I'll say this unless you give me millions of dollars or whatever. I don't know if any of that's true, but again, I would say I want to see the evidence. I want to see the details.
Can I read the post? The post that he put.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is what Joel Kinneman said. A week ago today. Earlier this morning, I filed for a restraining order against a woman who has been threatening to physically harm me and my family and loved ones, and attempting to extort money and other things of value from me. While it is mortifying and scary to come forward with all of this, what feels worse is enduring the escalating daily threats of physical harm to me and my loved ones, and threats to go to the press with fabricated, vile rumors unless I agree to list demands that include money, Hollywood connections helping to secure work visa, a verified Instagram page, a Wikipedia page, a photo shoot with Sports Illustrated, and an additional $400,000 for an apartment and more. And I also want to share facts with you honestly and directly. In late 2018, when I was single, I had a brief romantic relationship with a woman named Gabriella Mangusson, a Swedish model who goes by the name of Bella Davis. In November in 2018, we met up in New York and had consensual. And the next month in December 2018, we met up again in New York, had consensual, but did not spend the night together because I had to get up early the following morning for work. The next day, she texted me. She was bothered that I had not asked her to spend the night, and that I did not check with her to make sure she had made it home safely. In 2019 and 2020, Bella resumed contact with me, asking to meet up and sending me explicit content. But I was in a relationship at this point, so I did not respond. Given her increasingly obsessiveness communications, I felt it was best to cut off all communications with her. But Bella continued to try to communicate with me, texting, calling, and from other people's phones. And these communications become more and more antagonistic, threatening, frightening over the time. Recently, Bella resorted to threatening to publicize false information about me, including that I had sex with her against her will, unless I capitalized her demands. Hoping to resolve this situation, on July 25th, I had a lengthy phone conversation with Bella, which she knew was being recorded. In that tape conversation, Bella more than once acknowledged that sex was consensual. In the same conversation, she reiterated her threat to tell the media it was against her will unless I met her demands. At one point, she said, "Do you know how much money I would get and how famous I would be if I went to the press?" She also made threats of physical violence against me and my family by herself and others, including her brother, a convicted felon who pointed a rifle at my manager. Since then, her threats of violence against me and my loved ones have become so serious and specific that I feel I had no choice to seek a restraining order. I want to be very clear, so there is no misunderstanding. I stand by all victims of sexual assault, and this is not what occurred. This is consensual, and now it is an attempt to extort. More importantly, this is a threat of safety by my family and loved ones, which always be my top priority. Joel Kinneman.
Yeah, I mean, again, my instinct was, without any of the evidence, that it could be someone trying to make some money, make a story. But like you were saying, Austin, we need to see the evidence first. We need to see what actually happened.
Yeah, he mentions a taped call by the police, so I'm sure the police.
Well, that changes things. Yeah, I mean,
he mentions a couple things that in the.
By the way, are we coming up really pixelated for anyone? Because on my TV we look really pixelated. You guys don't have it open on your show? Okay, all right.
Yeah, of course I do. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're
It's
talking
right here.
about you.
Yeah,
You
now,
dingus.
my fear is that the people who are hating on the Suicide Squad, look, there are legitimate people who didn't like this movie. That's fine, but who are
Well,
hating,
actually, there's some people that were hating on it that actually that don't like the movie,
Yeah,
but are saying that they're standing with Joel. They're like a lot of people that like realize this is a serious
But my
situation.
fear is that people will use this as a way to attack the film, which of course has nothing to do with the film, good or bad. But it kind of scares me that people will do stuff like that, like Joel Kinneman, this connects to this, and this connects to James Gunn, and all that stuff. And we really gotta. We're fine. Okay, so it must be just my TV.
Right.
$1,500 my ass paid for this. Direct connection, 1 terabyte or 1 gig or whatever the fastest thing is. I never jumped to please. I got falsely accused. Yeah, it happens.
It does. Absolutely. Yeah.
But it happens a lot. I think that some people have defended Michael Jackson about that. They think he might have been falsely accused, and I don't know, because it doesn't help that the guy was kind of weird in public. Makes up nonsense. He keeps trolling me, and I was like, ignore it.
Yeah,
just ignore it. Don't respond to the troll. If Benson is a troll, Benson, we hope you're not a troll, but come on, stop.
He's not.
Divert your toxicity here.
Play nice, kids. But before we start to wrap things up here.
I don't even want to do Quizzo now. This is too fun.
Right. You're quitting.
Quizzo. Hey, I don't even know what else I had to talk about. Britney Spears happened.
We got Venom 2. Venom 2 moved, obviously. And that moved to October 15th, which is now the same. Venom 2 will come out the same day as Halloween Kills and
Last Duel.
And the Last Duel. Ben Affleck and
also
Matt
that weekend is also DC
Duel.
Fandom weekend.
Yeah, so it's a pretty packed weekend. So definitely look forward to that. I know you had on here. Let's see, the Powerpuff Girls, Chloe Benny left.
Oh yeah, apparently she left.
She left for scheduling conflicts and
conflicts. Do you think that's
she's going to do Secret Invasion right now, isn't she?
No.
Or some Marvel thing? Isn't she going to do a Marvel thing or a DC thing, or what is she doing? Is she doing something like that?
It's probably because sometimes when they say, the other thing we have to remember is that when they say creative differences or scheduling conflicts, it most likely means there was problems with the script or problems with people of the crew. It could be also that. So maybe
I
read
somewhere she was going to film something else. It was just because they're obviously going to reshoot the show and redo it. Now it's
and so that's the thing. Like she was obligated to shoot. Like she was signed on for this thing for so long. So why would something else pop out of nowhere? For her not to be shooting this. So it's obviously script changes that she did not like, or she did not like.
Well, speaking of script changes that a lot of people didn't like, this happened live. We were talking about this on Tuesday.
Right.
In comics, it is revealed that Tim Drake is bisexual, so he can still have a girlfriend, guys. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. Like, it's totally fine.
To it. And what are your thoughts on this? Because look, I also understand the point of view. Are they making him bi, not because they want to tell?
Well, it's always been because
if they're virtue signaling, like, hey, look at us, look
how
well we are.
There was this comic run where Tim Drake and Connor Kent kind of had not a more of a somewhat romantic relationship, but they couldn't
it's
say
sort
that.
of like undercurrent, right? Like it's
not
yeah.
So it was and then this issue just confirmed there was probably something there. So that's basically what they're doing with this.
It's kind of funny, and this is awful, but you guys don't remember the 90s, but there used to be jokes. The word gay used to be unfortunately used as a derogatory term, and people would say that Robin is, but use it in a derogatory way. And that's the irony of it all, is because this is kind of like a slap in the face of those people.
Yeah, and also it's weird how people are reporting this, because they're also some people are using the picture of Dick Grayson or of Jason Todd.
Yeah.
So they're not using the right Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it's just.
I think people are overblowing it, but
Yeah.
speaking of blowing it, oh, not that way. Her movie has been canceled. The Tower of Terror movie that she was.
No, it hasn't.
I've read that it's been canceled.
Wait, where is this from?
I got well, actually, what's his name? What's it? The big freaking giant was trying to.
Oh, that's unreliable.
I did giant freaking robot or what?
Yeah, that's unreliable.
I double checked that. This was another article that popped up, so that's not happening.
No, it's still happening. The Tower of Terror movie is still happening.
It's still happening.
If it wasn't, they would have announced it today.
And not only that, her issue with Disney is not with the creatives; it's with the board. It's literally like Kevin Feige has it's been pretty clear that he's not happy about this. He had a fight with the board over this. So her gripe is not with the creatives at Disney. That's not who she's pissed off at. She's pissed off with the guys the board. For example, the same people that interfered with Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio's DC universe. Those are the people that she's basically pissed at. Those people for Disney.
Which it's you have Iger and Kevin Feige and James Gunn and these people standing by,
but they're not the board. They all answer to the board.
Yeah, they all answer to a board, so they can't say, let's go do
some people attacking her and saying, well, she's rich. Why does another? But I'm like, it's about a contract and a deal, and
I think it is about too that they probably made her certain promises.
Widow, so let's get that out of the way. If you think I'm simping for Scarlett.
I mean, I think it is about too. It is about certain promises. I mean, you think about it. There has not been a Marvel film that hasn't crossed $1 billion in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or 4 years. So just the circumstance. Yeah. I don't think it's about that. I think she actually has good reason to be doing this.
Yeah, and look, I know Disney has been blaming the pandemic, and I get it.
And so just the circumstance. Yeah, I don't think it's about.
And I understand that point also, but I don't like the attacks that have happened at her directly by some people online. I've seen people attacking her. They broke her contract. They should pay. Yeah. And it's not like Marvel or Disney is like hurting for funds like this would hurt them. If anything, it would show that they stand by their actors. And they're like, yep, we made a deal with you, even though it didn't work out the way we wanted to. We're still going to pay you what we promised you, or at least what we estimate.
They'll settle because if they don't, then it becomes a big lawsuit, and then a lot of other, just like how like Scarlett Johansson started the whole Gerald Butler stuff, and the
I got a question. How would you feel if Warner Brothers went to her and says, hey, you want to join the DCEU? We'll give you a blank check, fill it out.
I think I heard somewhere that
people were suggesting stuff like that
or something.
But how would you feel about that if Scarlett Johansson joined the DCEU and they said to her, you can have whatever role you want. We would love to have you. We'll give you money up front.
That's fine. I mean, if she wants
as long as she doesn't choose Catwoman or Poison Ivy. As long as she doesn't choose those two roles. Or she doesn't choose Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, you know what? I'd love to see her as Hawk Girl.
Hawk Girl. Okay, that could work. Talia al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul. I'm sorry, they both have to be Middle Eastern actors from now on. Okay, we got the white Ra's al Ghul. You know what would be a good Ra's al Ghul? He's from Pakistan. Riz Ahmed.
Oh yeah, like a young.
He'll
be a good
unless he just walked out of the Lazarus pit.
Yeah, but why not? Like, who says he has to look like he's 50 or 60? Let's make him,
because you have to think about it. He goes in the Lazarus pit like every so often.
Right.
I mean, he would be pretty good, and you can have the British accent, and he's Pakistani. He's got like very sharp features. He's not Punjabi, I don't think so, which is why he doesn't look like me. Bone structure.
I can actually see that.
He has something like that. And then Talia al Ghul, they have a lot of good-looking Persian and Middle Eastern girls. Go find one.
Yeah, right.
You know who would be a good Talia al Ghul? What's that? The girl from Sex Lies. She's actually Iranian and American.
I actually thought Marion Cotillard was a great Talia al Ghul, or would have been like if you were gonna do. from Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight,
animated movie?
or not Returns, Rises. Dark Knight Rises.
Are you talking about Sarah Shahi?
Sarah Shahi, yeah.
Yeah, she's in Black Adam.
Oh, she is. Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, she's got it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, she's
personality
wonderful.
style. She's a great actor.
I'm not sure.
What's the show where he plays an Islamist? I know what he's talking about. What's his name? What the hell's his name? Riz Ahmed. He was in a he's a Londoner, yeah, that's right. He's British Pakistani. You know, my dad still gives me crap for saying it like that. It's supposed to be Pakistan, but I say Pakistan because I'm gonna
right.
Obama used to say Pakistan. He used to say it right. The night of. Are you talking about that one that HBO did? But that was set in the UK, I think. I'm not sure which one it is. Then there's the OA. I've never seen that. He's in the Sandman TV series. Wait, there's a Sandman TV series?
Wait, he's in that? Riz Ahmed is in that?
Wait, there's a Sandman TV series?
Yeah.
It's already out?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's 2020 on it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it's coming to Netflix, I think, next year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, I have a be jealous. I have a hardcover of, I think, Sandman Volume 4, autographed by Neil Gaiman, back when the biggest celebrities at comic book conventions were comic book writers. One year we got Kevin Smith. We were so happy in like 2002. We're like, oh, it's Kevin Smith.
Right.
He was in Rogue One. Yeah, he was in Rogue One. But yeah, something like that for Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, the Sandman audiobook.
Oh, so it's not an actual show.
No, there's a show.
No, the one he was in. Riz Ahmed was in.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the show where he played an Islamist, unless he was in 24 like 10 years ago.
Right.
But yeah. So, well.
4 lines. You said 4 lines.
They are looking for a young Riz Ahmed type for Constantine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'd be down for that. Yeah.
Oh, this is a long time ago. He played a terrorist. Okay. 4 lines. 4 incompetent British terrorists out to train and commit an act of terror. I never saw that. Was it a show? It looks like it's a movie. But I never saw that. Yeah, you guys watched 24 back in the day. That show was dope.
I think he might show up in Andor.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Oh, really?
That'd be cool. Speaking of Star Wars Bad Batch finale tonight, I'll definitely be watching that and doing a recap.
God, I forgot to watch that show. We were watching it.
I'll definitely be watching it tonight. Yeah, I may even partner up or talk to Matt Jarvo and see if he's doing anything.
Does anyone know what happened to Ty? This one we might as well tie for
a recap or review. No, maybe he's asleep or something. He's I think he was up pretty late last night. So
Ty's been doing like 5 shows a day, and he's constantly working. Let me see.
Right.
Okay, but that's fine. We'll do the UFO stuff on Tuesday, folks. If you get a chance, here's my recommendation. If you have Showtime, look up a show called UFO. It's a 4 episodes. Watch it. Very well done. JJ Abrams produced it. And I think Taiwan. We're gonna do a TY's Corner in Jivin With Jack. We'll talk about it. Maybe not even watch the whole thing. Watch 1 episode, but give it a shot. It's interesting because they have the skeptics give their perspective too. It's not like, like, oh my God, aliens are real, but like it gives all perspective. The skeptics make some excellent points.
Shout out to Hi, who was about to watch Titans, but then our show came out on.
Oh yeah, well
our show.
Look, if you
love Hi,
wanted to watch something good, but I'm not gonna say that.
Right. Actually, no. Speaking of, and hey, Ty has seen Titans High, so there's a review up on that. We'd love to hear what you thought about it afterwards. Definitely go and comment on that video once you've seen the first few episodes.
I feel like we're missing something. Oh, and Bob, speaking of Disney and Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek announced that Disney Investors Day, Disney Plus Day, or whatever, is November 12th. Hey. So they'll be announcing a lot of new Disney Plus stuff, like Marvel, Star Wars, original stuff. So yeah.
Dude, we're gonna get stuff, huh? Wow.
Yeah, more stuff. I mean, I think they said we're gonna get Marvel content like almost every week this year.
I know there's 9 to 12 unannounced.
Oh my God!
Marvel.
There's already stuff that's been announced that still hasn't come out yet. Holy crap!
Yeah,
All
75 Bad Batch finale tonight. But yeah, guys, make sure tune in tomorrow. I don't know what's happening, but you already know we'll be live at some point. And then of course, be checking us out the rest of this month. We've got some cool interviews again, some more guests coming on next week, guys. Next Tuesday is the day, the 17th, August 17th. Poindexter Lounge, Enosh from the Poindexter Lounge will be joining us on Jivin With Jack. That's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, we'll do the alien shit later. Yeah.
Yep. So next Tuesday, guys, big episode we're really excited about. We're really excited to have Enosh from the Poindexter Lounge. Make sure you go check out all of our other episodes, all the other content that we have on the channel, guys. Really cool stuff. We interviewed Adam Hart, who was the stuntman for Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. We just a lot of cool stuff. We did our rankings of the DC extended universe, and we've got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. So be checking us out this month and next month. Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to donate, obviously, for our GoFundMe, our charity that Ty is starting in honor of his mother to help breast cancer survivors and help them with the cost of things. It's really important. It's a really great cause. Make sure and check that out. But yeah, I think I got all the.
I think you got it all.
All the promotion.
How does someone contact me outside Facebook and Twitter without me putting my personal email here?
I don't have Twitter or FB. Is that the only way to send links? Do you have Instagram in Integrity? Or you can actually just have him use your Pop Culture Corner email? No.
No, that's too. I don't even know what it is. I use it all the time. It's like my whole name.
Yeah.
And like 200 other things.
Or just use the Pop Culture Corner email.
Yeah, all right. I gotta find that damn thing.
Not yours, but the regular one that we use to have questions and requests and all that stuff. It's in the.
Ty didn't do the description today. It's
in the banner here. You just gotta.
Oh, it's in the banner. Hold on.
Yeah, look for it.
Find the banners. There we go. Email. All links are in the description. Now it's not in the banners. At least I don't see it.
Maybe you took it out. Nice. Right, well, guys, you can also confirm if there will be a Hall and Oates free. A
Hall and Oates. Hey, Hall and Oates are from Philly.
Right. I had to look up. I don't know. I had to look up who John. He said I look like John Oates, and so I had to look up who that was. And so, like a rock musician, singer. You guys like, hold on, John Oates.
Well, I know there's a baseball player named John Oates.
No, this is the
John Oates is from Hall and Oates.
Oh,
yeah. American rock soul singer.
Yeah. You haven't heard of Hall and Oates?
I mean, I'm sure I have. Oh, he did We Are the World? Sarah Smiley?
Yeah, he did.
You make my dreams.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Integrity. Anyway, can I also confirm? Okay,
yeah. I'll tell you what. Integrity. We will put the email that you can email. That it's the email that you can ask. We all get it. That you can ask questions or send requests or do anything. Well, we'll put that in the comments, and then you and Jack can figure it out from there.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. That sounds great. All right, guys.
There we go. Yeah. Enjoyed the show. Hated the way then what are you Benson's like, I gotta leave with some fire in the chat. I gotta leave with some controversy in this.
Hey, Nicotina stopped by. We will always be cordial on our end.
Yeah, exactly. I'm as far as I'm concerned,
And look, he did it to Austin.
Cool. We're cordial. I very much appreciate the love and the support.
I just wish he had made Austin cry is all, but
Yeah, but that's what Jack wanted. It was but no, thank you, man, and yeah, we love everybody, so we just all want to get along. We just all want to get along. It
makes for better television. And guys, that's what we do.
That.
Culture Corner. We always try to make television more interesting, or whatever you're watching this on your computer screen. We are trying to make things interesting. Look, today got a little out of hand, but I loved every second of it. Look, folks, I appreciate the support. We're going to be back tomorrow night. We'll be back Saturday with a podcast episode. And, of course, Monday we usually do Pop Culture Corner nightly. We have a lot of content. Folks, if you're new to the channel, check out some of our older content. Leave a like, share, make a comment, maybe suggestions you think. We all take suggestions, except me. We all take suggestions on how we can do the show better. But, folks, we appreciate it. We thank you. If you're not a member, we have a 3-tier system. You can be a member for as low as $2.99. Remember, we do it for you, and we do it for the culture.